So, are you thinking about selling your home but not sure where to go? We've got a great option for you.
We're the Skylands Real Estate Team, and we are here today with Lee Martindale. He works for a company called Rivet Customs, and they work on Airstreams and take them from 50s basic to up-to-date glamour.
Through the whole pandemic, we realized that you got to take a look at what was important, right? It's an opportunity to kind of connect people back to travel, get people back out, seeing things, experiencing things, interacting with people again, spending time with the people that they care about, which is why, you know, every time somebody comes, I always get the question like, why is there no TV? And it's like, there's a place for a TV. If you want to put in a TV, that's you, but that's not what we're here for. Like, we're gonna preserve the past, get people back on the road to enjoy life now.
Very cool.
You know, in a simplified way.
Are you ready to hit the road? Come along with us and see what we have to offer.
Down this hallway, we have all of the production departments. So we have production managers, studio managers, our draftsmen, our engineering team are all down here. And then upstairs is where we have account management, sales, design, all those sorts of guys. And our AV department is upstairs too.
Very cool.
One of the things that we have here is a full graphics department. So you'll see down here, we do vinyl, cut vinyl, applied vinyl, printed vinyl, large format, small format, and in the back we have fabric printing. What that allows us to do is that allows us to have custom wallpapers, custom exterior graphics, upholstery, etc., can all be done in-house. Here is a lot of custom LED work. Tim is working right now on dialing in some pixel addressable LED that's going into a Facebook job. But Tim does the electrics both for dimensional and for Rivet. So things go from prep into here. Julian is able to use our computer mixing system. We can match just about any color. He's a magician with paint, but in terms of Rivet work, the nice thing about this space is we're able to open our doors to our paint booth and we literally drive the trailers in and we'll paint the whole thing in our enclosed booth. So we get a much higher level of finish than you would be able to expect, because most places don't have kind of access to this kind of equipment. And we just extend it straight out the doors, and we've had as long as a 31-foot trailer in the spray booth. Room. So we have direct print back here. This is also where we do our large format and our small format sewing. And it's also through this way is where we do all of our fabric printing. And Derek and Don are mid-printing, otherwise I would go bother them. But that is a 10-foot die sub printing press that they're going through right now.
Look who's behind me! I can't believe it!
The first trailers that we did, this is a 68 that we got out of Pennsylvania, and that is a 78 that we got from Maryland. They were both in relatively desperate shape, so we did everything on them. So new tires, new axles, new brakes, upgraded the frame, upgraded the hitch, new electrical, new cabinets. We saved as much as we could because, again, our motto is to really preserve what's there, improve where we can, but also be planning ahead so that the things that you know are going to go wrong are at least thought of beforehand. So there's a lot of thoughts to how do you get access to the water lines, how do you get access to the electrical. We try to run as little as possible in the walls. So we try to improve where we can, but you know, it's hard to do in some cases because they're around for 50 years for a reason, right? They were built well to begin with.
Yeah.
On the inside, we've kept as much original as we can. but obviously give it an improvement. So for example, we kind of called this one, right, the mobile office, and that's kind of the idea and how we see this working. But that's a fold down bed. This is a fold down bed. We have the full kitchen, a workspace over here, and then just in terms of, again, trying to preserve, we rebuilt and preserved the original connections panel and all of the interior wiring as best as we could. In 1968, this was a year of aluminum wiring, which, as you know, is incredibly dangerous. So again, this is one of those areas where it's like, okay, well, how can we improve? We stabilized all that aluminum wire, and that sort of thing, and then brought it into the 21st century with a whole lot of LED accent lighting, a lot of functionality that we wouldn't have otherwise. A 3-way refrigerator, instant hot water. We have on-demand heat and air conditioning.
This is very spacious too I actually haven't been in an Airstream before, so right. I've seen a lot of shows on them and things like that, and they feel different than a more modern trailer. Even with the pop outs and the slide outs, right, they still make the best of this space, and it's really cool.
Well, and that's one of the reasons we don't want to change the layout, right? Like this layout is exactly the same as it was when we got the trailer. The only difference was that there is another doorway of sorts here to close it off. But we wanted to open up a little bit. We made it lighter so that it would feel a little bit brighter. Yeah. To that end. But yeah, it's great. And the other thing that's great about Airstreams too is, as an RVer, going down the road, you need to stop, you need to make lunch. Kids are tired, they need to take a nap. You're not trying to mess with slides or try to find enough space to slide stuff out. Like, you have access to anything you need all the time.
Very cool.
And I can certainly see this being a real way to connect with family and get back to the basics.
And simple. This is as simple as it gets. And again, we test all of these. So propane fridge, propane cooktop, we don't need anything. But, we improve the battery bank as well. So you can really be off and be out for as long as you want. Great things I love about Airstreams is there's always a story, right? Like, there's a story to every one of them. So this trailer was owned by a gentleman in Pennsylvania. He worked in a mine, and he vacationed with his family in this trailer from 1978 until 2008. And he kept it immaculate, and it was kept in a garage. And unfortunately, by 2008, his health had failed. He was older. He had to get his driveway paved, so he paid the guy $2,000 and gave him this trailer. In exchange for getting his driveway paved. We bought it from a contractor because he was like, I don't need a trailer. I don't know what I'm doing with it. So it had fallen into a little bit of disrepair at that point because I'd been outside not being taken care of for 3 years. But most of what you see is original. The front is all original. This cabinetry is all original. Obviously, we refinished everything, even the beds. These are all, again, we improved where we could. We replaced the Luan with an Alucobond composite, but all of the tambour and all of the storage underneath, this is all original, taken apart screw by screw and refinished and reinstalled.
Yeah.
But in terms of the other services that we have here, and we're lucky to have, is aside from the plumbing and all the solid servicing and the coring and the laser etching and the engraving, our printing department, came up with these graphics.
That is cool.
These are actually historical maps of Yellowstone all around. So one of the other campers has Yosemite on it. So. Airstreams are terrible for storage on the outside.
Yeah.
So what's amazing with the Airstream is they put storage everywhere. So obviously you have all these overhead storage bins, which are all very handy. Storage underneath, storage in all the closets.
Yeah.
You have 2 full linen closets in the back. I'm sorry, that's not true. You have 3. A super big one in the bathroom too.
Okay.
You have storage everywhere on the inside. On the outside, not so much.
Yeah.
Which is why I always cringe a little bit, because I watch a lot of DIY and Pinterest. They've really popularized the Airstream. A lot of people just they take all the storage out of it, and it's like, what are you doing?
Right. You're never
Like,
gonna be
you can't use that anymore. On this trailer specifically, there is a bumper box. It's basically big enough for your electric cable and maybe
hoses
one
and
10-foot
whatnot?
hose.
Okay.
Maybe one 10-foot
Yeah.
hose. That's it.
Okay.
But you think about like even houses at that time where, you know, you're in Ringwood, I'm in Ringwood, where the older homes didn't have these massive walk-in closets. People didn't have the clothes, they didn't have the items that they do have now, and making
Right.
things easier for camping. So if you want to really get back to basics and streamline and become a minimalist, this is going to show you how to do it real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that was part of it too, was even back then the idea was to simplify. I'm going in the trailer to simplify.
So one last one.
All right, so Lee, how can our viewers find you?
Best way to find me is on the web. We are at rivetcustom.com, or I can be emailed at lee@rivetcustom.com.
And we're the Skylands Real Estate Team. I'm Darcy Hunter.
And I'm Vera Lewandowski.
If you like what you saw today, like and subscribe and follow us. And don't forget, you can always find us on our webpage, which is skylandsrealestate.com.